God, no wonder why I'm so fucking tired.
Why?
I just realized it's going on 8 o'clock. I've gotten 2 hours of sleep in the last 24 hours.
Well,
I didn't even realize that it was so late. God, I really am getting old if that's late.
how old are you?
28. Oh, well, I'm still 27.
You're in between August.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all downhill from 28, dude.
I
All
can tell
right.
already.
It's just a little preview of what's to come. But I'm here to warn you.
Yeah, because you're old as shit already.
Excuse me? You're keeping that in this episode. What's going on, ghosties? Welcome back to Tales of Spooky Coffee House. If Chelsea did indeed edit that part out before this intro, I'm gonna be so mad because her bully was just showing. But if you're new here, welcome to our podcast. LOL. We are your hosts. I'm Veronica.
Obviously, I'm Chelsea.
And it's time for my much needed coffee break. So I don't really have much to talk about, but I do have a joke for you that I heard on, I believe, was TikTok.
I swear on everything that you just said drug, and I was like, what?
I said drug.
I swear you said drug, dude. I thought you said you had a drug for me, and I'm like,
You know what?
first of
I
all,
might have. Let me go ahead and repeat myself. I have a joke for you.
okay.
What's worse than ants in your pants?
What?
Uncles. That was a pity laugh.
What?
I hear the
What did you?
crickets.
What did you
None of
just
the
say?
none of the ghosties laughed either.
No.
What's
What did
worse
you
than
just?
ants in your pants?
Mhm.
Uncles.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. I went to like a dark humor mind, and I was like, did she just tell me a pedophile joke?
Well, I mean, you're supposed to be. Anyways, how are you? Hi. Hello.
So, have you been paying attention to the Canada fires?
Uh, Only the part where New Yorkers are being really overdramatic about it.
Listen, they're not, okay? Their skyscrapers disappeared because you could not see past the smoke.
Okay, listen, we go through this every summer in California,
Yeah.
and we went through it first in 2019.
So that's what I was getting to. So I'm used to, because like even when I was still living there in California, I'm used to the wildfires. Like I know how it is. So I didn't even realize that there were Canada fires until like 4 days after, and everybody was bitching about it. And they were like, the air quality is so bad. All I smell is smoke all day. And I was like, oh shit, that's what that smell is. I was like, there's wildfires? They're like, yeah, haven't you been paying attention? I'm like, no, I'm used to it. It didn't even register in my fucking brain. Like,
Yeah.
and like even now we're still like the air quality is really bad. Like I can sense it now because my asthma is acting up, but
Well, they were saying that if you were to be outdoors, it would be like smoking a cigarette
mhm.
once an hour.
Yeah. And the bad part is my job. They keep all the bay doors open in the factory like pretty much
Mhm.
24/7.
Mhm.
It's smoky as shit in that factory.
Yeah. I used to work in a warehouse that what right in its backyard were our, San Gabriel Mountains.
Mhm.
And there was a fire once that was literally right behind our work. Did they close down work? No, not at all.
No.
Um,
No, fuck that.
and
You can
yeah,
you can survive a fire. They'll get you out in time. No problem.
yeah, no, it's fine. Um, you won't boil in there, not at all.
Right.
Um, but I listen, I don't want the East Siders to come after us or come after me. But I'm just saying, California, SoCal, we go through this every summer. Nothing new. It's not scary. But then again,
But
I know
at
that
the
there's a
same
lot of things
time,
that we experience that others don't, that other people experience other things and we don't. So like I get it.
yeah, like I was gonna say, like Texas didn't know what the fuck to do when they had ice, and I was over here laughing. I'm like, it's
Girl,
just
we didn't
ice.
know what
Like,
to do with all the rain we got this fucking winter
yeah,
and
I was gonna
spring. We
say
were drowning.
if you guys got snow and stuff, like you guys wouldn't know what to do. So like I get it, but also at the same
Yeah.
time, like
Yeah, don't be a bitch about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I stand by what I say. I'm just saying don't get mad.
So I have a really funny but like weird story to tell you.
I'm always here for the funny and weird. That's why I'm here with you, cause you're
Uh,
funny and weird.
I was gonna say I
Aw,
thought you were here for the spooky, but I mean that works too.
you are kind of spooky, dude. Just putting that
So
out there.
I was at work and my friend and I were talking while we were working and we noticed one of the other workers, he's a technician, was just like standing in the aisleway, like just like literally just standing there still. And we were like, what the fuck? Like,
Ew.
but we didn't like we
I'm
just kept
picturing
working and
something really
talking.
creepy.
He's kind of like tall and lanky, so kind of like picture like Slenderman, but in
Ooh,
like a maintenance uniform. So,
okay.
anyways, he's just standing there, right? And we're still talking and working, and then we noticed that something was flying around him, and it looked thought it was a hummingbird at first, and then later he told us that it wasn't. But he's just standing there. This dude reaches out his hands very slowly and then just catches this thing, right? And I
Uh-huh.
swear to God, if I hadn't seen it, dude, I was like, I looked at my friend and I was like, you saw that, right? She's like, dude, I thought I was fucking tripping right now. And he walked by us and we're like, did you just catch that? He's like, yeah, you want it? And I was like, fuck no, I don't want it.
You want it?
And it was like it was like a real life Snow White moment because he just like literally fucking took this thing mid flight in
Aww.
the air and took it outside. Turns out it wasn't a hummingbird, it was just a giant ass moth. But the fact that he
Ew.
just like casually caught it in mid flight and just took it outside like it was no big deal, I was fucking mind blown. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
What state are you in?
Indiana.
Yep, that's Indiana to you, folks. That's like a movie scene right there.
Yeah, like it was so like trippy. I was
That's
like, what
funny.
the fuck? It was the fact that he just like stood there for like 5 minutes. Oh,
You know how like I love picturing like what people tell me, like stories and stuff like that?
yeah.
This story would have been great sober, but I'm telling you guys right now, if you listen to that story high, whoa. Because at first it was giving Batman, like, oh my god, there's something flying around him, like it's a bat, it's fucking Bruce Wayne. But then you said Moth and all that, and then I'm thinking Mothman, and then you said Slender Man, like it got really creepy. But then you said Snow White, which made it feel a lot better?
Oh my god, dude, you just made me feel like I was high and I'm not. You just like totally took my story and just made me think, wait, what? Oh my
Oh
god.
man. Hey
God.
ghosties.
Yeah, I miss this. Our break was
Um,
too long. Like this is the shit that I
too
miss.
long. I was telling Chelsea I'm having a weird week. And I was telling her earlier that I was really looking forward to this recording just because like I knew it was gonna make me feel better and I'm already good. I'm good. You know what? Let's just stop here. Have a good night.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it the podcast or is it the drugs?
Uh
That's what I
I
thought.
think it's a combination of both.
You want to get us started on the true crime topic?
Yes.
Okay.
So okay, let me start with this. I have a low-key fear of like driving through the grapevine or any long road through a deserted type of area, for example, like the drive from LA to Vegas, you're just in the desert. But like my fear is driving at night. I think more so by myself because I don't have that fear when I'm with someone else just because I have their company. But I always get scared that I'm gonna come across someone that's blocking the road to get robbed or killed.
Hmm.
Like that's just kind of a fear I have. And then I heard this story and I was like, all right, well it's a valid fear. Okay. It's
I was gonna say I think that's a valid fear just without having heard the story that you're about to tell. So.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't really go on these. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, I don't go on these drives by myself at night,
Hmm.
so I don't know why I'm so afraid of it.
Yeah.
But so the true crime topic of the week is going to be about the 1976 Chowchilla kidnapping. It's really fun to say Chowchilla, And the fact that I have to say it a few times during my segment makes me really happy. Um, just saying. In huh?
I just said something.
Ew, I heard a voice.
Great.
uh,
I don't want to listen to this when I edit.
oh, it's my mom. Estoy grabando.
I can't with you right now. Also, ghosties, Veronica didn't mention this, but she also had a swig of some alcohol too, so I think that's playing into her
Oh
attitude.
my god. Just fucking tell him my social already.
I would if I knew it.
Okay.
No, I'm just
Ah,
kidding.
that was funny. I
I
okay,
could hear the
anyway.
panic in your voice.
Because I got scared. I was like, all right. In 1976, a school bus driver and 26 children ages 5 to 14 were abducted in Chowchilla, California.
A
At
whole
around 4
fucking bus?
mm-hmm, the whole fucking bus, bro.
What the fuck?
At around 4 p.m. on Thursday, July 15th, 1976, school bus driver Frank Edward Ray was driving 26 students of Dairyland Elementary School home from a summer class trip to the Chowchilla Fairgrounds swimming pool when a van blocked the road ahead of the bus. Ray stopped the bus and was confronted by three armed men with nylon stockings covering their faces. One of the men held a gun to Ray while another drove the bus. The third man followed behind in the van that was used to block the road. The kidnappers hid the bus in the Baranda Slough, a shallow branch of the Chowchilla River where a second van had been parked. Both vans' back windows were painted black and their interior were reinforced with paneling. Ray and the children were forced into the two vans at gunpoint and then driven around for 11 hours before being taken to the quarry in Livermore. There, in the early morning of July 16th, the kidnappers forced the victims to climb down a ladder into a buried moving truck that they had stocked with small amounts of food and water and some mattresses. While Ray and the children were trapped in this truck, Ray and the older children later stacked the mattresses so that some of them could reach the opening at the top of the truck, which had been covered with a heavy sheet of metal and weighed down with two 100-pound industrial batteries. After hours of effort, Ray and the oldest boy, 14-year-old Michael Marshall, wedged the lid open with a piece of wood and moved the batteries. They then dug away the remainder of the debris blocking the entrance. 16 hours after they had entered the truck, the group emerged and walked to the quarry's guard shack near Shadow Cliffs Regional Park. The quarry's owner's son, 24-year-old Frederick Newhall Woods IV, quickly came under suspicion as one of the people who had keys to the quarry and enough access to buried the moving truck there. He and two of his friends, brothers James and Richard Schoenfield, aged 24 and 22, had previously been convicted of motor vehicle theft, for which they had been sentenced to probation. A warrant was executed on the estate of the Woods' father, and their police recovered one of the guns used in the kidnapping, as well as a draft of a ransom note, but the three men had fled. Woods was caught 2 weeks after the kidnapping in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. James Schoenfield had been captured earlier the same day in Menlo Park, California, while Richard Schoenfield had voluntarily turned himself into the authorities 8 days after the kidnapping. The kidnappers had been unable to call in their intended ransom, demanding of $5 million because telephone lines to the Chowchilla Police Department were tied up by media calls and families searching for their family. They went to sleep at some point on July 16th and woke late that night to television news reports informing them that the victims had freed themselves and were saved. So, in your face, kidnappers.
Right.
And that's my segment. It's really interesting. Validated my feelings on my fear of getting fucking attacked in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere.
Listen, I
Um,
feel like that's just like a fear of just being a woman and in the States right now.
Yeah, it's crazy out here.
Yeah. So your fear is valid. Like you're not you're not weird because of it or anything. Like that's the thing.
Yeah. So that's my segment. Before I introduce you to the next segment, can I check in on my mom?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, do you want to get us started on the paranormal topic of the week?
Yeah, so mine's also super short and sweet. So we're going to talk about St. George's Church in the tiny Shet's town of Lukova. There is a church that was built in the 14th century. It was believed to be built, and I don't know if christened is the right word, but like when the church is like fully ready for congregation or whatever.
Sure.
It was believed to have been done in 1352. It was a
1352.
yeah, 1352.
Right.
That's the 14th century.
That's old.
It was abandoned in 1968 after several fires when the roof fell in during a funeral service. So people avoided the church after that because it was believed that the reason for the multiple fires and the roof caving in was because it was haunted.
Hmm.
So the town did try to save it years later, but it was kind of too late. The town has about 700 people even at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't come up with the funds or resources to save it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So a local artist had the idea in 2012, and his name was Jacob Padrava. I'm probably like saying that way wrong, but anyways, he created 32 life-size ghosts to stay in the church that represents
I
that
know what church you're talking about.
that represents the student Germans, which were an ethnic group expelled from the Czech Republic after World War II. So because of this, visitors raised over 26,000 for renovations to the building, so it has been saved since. But yeah, that's it for my paranormal topic. I think it's really interesting that an artist took the hauntings of the church and created like real life interpretations inside. It's a pretty unique, like a pretty unique idea.
Yeah, you don't really need to say much with that because you mentioned church, you mentioned a fucking funeral with people in there mourning,
Mhm.
and yet, the fucking thing collapses on them.
Mhm.
You're talking about a guy that built ghosts in the church.
Mhm.
Like, seeing a statue like that in a church in the middle of the night, that's creepy.
Yeah, and for those of you that like the ghosties, for those of you that don't know like what this church looks like or anything, I am posting photos on Instagram, but it's basically like these ghosts, they're sitting at the pews, they're standing in the
Hmm.
back, like they're walking down the aisle. They're all over the place. And
Yeah,
I don't know about you,
I don't
but
like it.
I it would be a really good Halloween prank if somebody were to just like dress as one of the ghosts and then people that have never been there before don't know where they're like supposed to be positioned and it just started moving because I don't know about you but I would almost shit my pants if that happened.
I'm writing this in my pranks to-do list. But yeah, I've seen pictures of this church. And
Yeah,
it's,
it's
I
kind of
mean, even in
eerie.
the daytime, yeah,
Yeah,
it's still eerie. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it, Chelsea. Bad Chelsea.
yeah, do you know how they were made?
How?
So at his art school he used a bunch of students and the sculptures, they're not really sculptures, they're hollow, oh what is it called, like he put the hold on, it'll come to me.
I know exactly what you're trying to say. Like I can picture it. I just
Right,
don't know the
right.
words either.
Okay, so it's
But
not
it's
just
not like a
me.
full on figure. It's like, if for like,
Plaster.
picture, yeah, plaster, like a
Yeah,
fucking curtain, but like hardened enough to be looked like a human
yeah,
from
because he
behind.
he used actual students and he just put plaster around them, and then once it dried, they slipped out from the bottom.
And that's
Yeah.
what you'll see. Yeah,
So it's
you got through
completely
it.
it's really trippy.
You got through that. Moving on to segment three. I know you guys are used to Chelsea running things, but today's my day. All right, and we're doing a reading for Chelsea. Yes, the one and only Chelsea. And let me tell you, Well, I
Just
was
listening to her do this reading fucking has me in a panic.
oh yeah, so we usually hang out on Discord to discuss what's gonna happen in the episode. So while we were on Discord, I was doing the reading for her, pulling the cards, getting the information ready to go, the meanings, stuff like that. And I made it clear to Chelsea that she's in for a good one.
And by good one, she means that I'm gonna get called out like hardcore.
You might cry. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say, but you know what? That's good enough. Oh yeah, don't blame me. This is not coming from me. This is coming from the cards.
Yes, I
All
know.
right. Okay.
I also asked for this. I'm the one that chose the reading. I got it. Don't worry. I won't
Good.
leave
Oh my
you.
god. I hope she still says the same thing afterwards. But the good thing is that she said it now. All right. So the reading we're doing for Chelsea is it's called Am I on the Right Path? Are you on the right path, Chelsea? And this reading consists of 6 cards. Card number 1, my current direction. Card number 2, why I'm not confident in my direction right now. Card number 3, change I have to make to feel better about where I'm headed. Card 4 and 5 is the bigger picture of my life and why I'm not currently understanding. Card number 6 being the last card, how can I embrace the unknown rather than fearing it? Chelsea, I want you to take a deep breath.
Trust me, I've just taken like 3 while you're talking. No, deep
uh,
breaths, not labor breaths.
I don't know. You might hear both. I don't know. All right. So card number 1, your current direction. The card that we got for your current direction is Strength Reversed. So, the message behind this card is that you're in a position where you have little power to affect behavior. In other words, no matter how hard you try on your end, you can't control the uncontrolled. You're running low on energy and have self doubt, which is, if that doesn't tell you that you need to get some rest or take it easy, I don't know what will. Okay.
We
Card
were
number
just
2.
talking about that before we started recording.
I know. We were talking about that right before I pulled the fucking cards. That's why I gasped and was all dramatic.
Yeah, Ghosties, when she says she was dramatic, she's not kidding.
No, and there you go. Card number 1 proved. There you go. There you go. Card number 2. Why are you not confident in the direction you're headed now? So the card you got for that one is the Devil reversed. You're not confident in the direction you're headed because you're allowing yourself to continue poor habits. You have become self-aware and are ready to break all the chains that come with the addiction and poor habits. You're tired of running in circles, and once you break that cycle, you'll have a better view of what's ahead. Card number 3, breathe, Chelsea, breathe.
I'm breathing.
Card number 3, change I have to make to feel better about where you're headed. So change you need to make to feel better about where you're headed. We got Ace of Swords. This card is telling you that you will succeed. However, in order to do so, you have to have a mental clarity. Once you have this mental clarity, the Ace of Swords also represents new ideas, new plans, justice, and realizing the truth. Okay?
Okay.
Card 4 and 5, the bigger picture in your life and what you are not currently understanding. So 4 and 5, there's 2 cards for this one, okay? First card was Queen of Cups. You are someone who is compassionate, caring, sensitive, and nurturing, just like the Queen of Cups. However, as much of those things that you give to others, you need to put towards yourself. The second card for this one was Four of Wands reversed. The reversal position of Four of Wands implies that there is a breakdown or complete lack of harmony in your family or in your home. It's highly likely that there is a lot of tension between the members of your family or other loved ones. If you have completed something that is important to you, you are expecting to share it with those that are closest to you and to come home to a welcome celebration, but instead, you find a lack of support. This may leave you feeling rather uncertain when it comes to your own relationships as well as the things that you can and cannot depend on.
Listen, fuck you.
The cards, man, the cards. Dude, that okay, I'm gonna admit this right now. I didn't put none of my own wording in that one. That is literally what Google told me. So Google. But like the fact that that's the actual meaning behind the card, you know, like I didn't have to reword anything. I didn't have to add anything because it's just so straightforward,
Yeah.
you know. So I didn't want to edit that. I wanted that to be word for word for you because maybe you need to hear it from the cards instead of someone else.
Yeah. Well, since you kept it word for word, then fuck you too.
The last card, card number 6. It's almost over, Chelsea.
Okay.
Um, and she's getting payback next week, by the way.
Yes, I am.
How can you embrace the unknown rather than fearing it? So you got the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords often symbolizes an emotional or mental crisis. It could represent the feeling of being overwhelmed by your emotions or the sense of being stuck in a certain situation. This card can also suggest that you are in the midst of difficult decision and that you are struggling to find a way forward. You have to come face to face with your current conflicts. If not, you'll continue to go in those circles, running into disappointment after disappointment. Once you start walking straight, you'll embrace all the new to come.
Listen, I'm trying, okay?
Tell me, Chelsea, what are your feelings right now?
I'm kind of pissed off.
Oh,
That reading hurt a little bit.
yeah, I know, I know. When I was doing it, the fact that we literally had a whole fucking conversation on what's been going on in your life. And then me pulling these cards, I was just the whole time I was like, she's not gonna like this, and she's gonna hate me, and this is it. This is it.
I don't hate you. I just hate what you pulled.
And it wasn't me though.
Uh,
Okay.
yes, I know.
Okay, cool. So that being said, is there anything else you'd like to say, Chelsea, before I end the episode?
No, I think I'm okay. I've had enough for
Uh,
today.
I've had enough. Listen, it was a great episode, man. My mom scared us.
Scared us, scared you. Don't put us in the mix. She scared
But
you.
hey, at least now you know that when I hear a voice, I'm not lying, okay? I actually did hear a voice.
From now on, I'm just gonna be like, it's just your mom.
I'm like, she's not home.
Yeah, dude, that would be the fucking day.
Oh man. I look forward to that. All right, well, all that being said, thank you so much for joining us this week, Ghosties. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If so, make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are recording book talk this weekend, so look forward to that. We're going to be talking about the maidens. So excited. And if you want a free tarot card reading, please DM us and we will choose one lucky person a week. This week, the lucky person was Chelsea. We are your hosts. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Chelsea. Did you almost
Sorry.
forget your name there?
Because the notes say your name, and I
So you
almost
almost
said
said
that
my
I
name.
was Chelsea. Yeah, and it almost felt right.
Hey, remember that time that I did that? So fuck off. It did feel right when I said it.
We
I
should
was
just
so
switch.
confident too. Welcome to the show. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Chelsea. All right, guys, we're crazy. Have a spooky weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.